Welcome to the reading skills video in our IELTS Superstar series. I am your teacher Ali, and I will be introducing you to some special skills and strategies to help you to get a superstar IELTS score. Firstly, we'll take a quick look at the format of the reading test. Secondly, I will introduce you to some special skills that will help you to deal with the test more effectively. Then, in the third part, I will give you an overview of the question types and introduce some strategies to help you to deal with them. Okay, are you ready to be an IELTS superstar? Then let's go! The IELTS academic reading test consists of 3 passages totaling around 2,500 words. The 3 passages in the IELTS reading module deal with a variety of academic subjects ranging from science and technology to business to liberal arts topics. The passages are similar to the kind of articles you might find in a magazine such as Time, The Economist or National Geographic. Each passage in the reading test is followed by 11 to 15 questions. There is a total of 40 questions in all. You should spend no more than 15 minutes in total reading all 3 passages. That will leave you around 40 minutes to attempt all the questions, giving you 1 minute for each question, plus a little extra time for checking. There is a variety of question types, including multiple choice, paragraph matching, true-false not given, sentence completion, and summary completion tasks. It is a good idea to be able to identify each type of question and know how to deal with it efficiently. In part 3 of this video, we will show you how.
Understand the main topic.
You should take care to read the title of the passage carefully. The title of the passage will usually introduce the main topic of the passage. For example, a reading passage might have this title:
Power from the Earth.
From this title, we can see that the article will most probably discuss energy sources and in particular geothermal energy. If the title also has a subheading below it, read this very carefully as well. For example, we might see this subheading:
Power from the Earth. Can geothermal power provide an efficient and cost-effective source of energy?
The subheading above gives us important background information and further clarifies the main topic of the passage. Are there any pictures or diagrams in the passage? If there are, make sure to study them carefully before beginning your reading of the passage. The pictures or diagrams usually provide essential information about the topic.
Skim reading.
Skim reading is when we read the text quickly to understand the general meaning. After skim reading a paragraph, you should be able to summarize the main meaning. Like a stone skimming the surface of the water, we are only skimming the surface without going too deep. When skimming, pay particular attention to the topic sentence. This is the first sentence in each paragraph and usually contains the main meaning of the paragraph. For example, look at this paragraph.
Rex was a very naughty dog. He barked all night and woke the neighbours. He chewed all the furniture and ruined it. He dug up the flower bed and the flowers died. He chased the postman every morning and bit him.
The topic sentence of this paragraph is, Rex was a very naughty dog. It is the first sentence in the paragraph and introduces the main idea of the paragraph. The 4 other sentences are called supporting sentences, and they give details and examples that explain why Rex was a naughty dog. As you read through the text, you can map the text. Mapping the text means highlighting the key words in the text. These include
Names of people. Names of places. Capitalized words. Numbers. Dates.
Highlighting these words while skim reading will help you later when you are searching for key words. When skim reading, it is also important to guess the meaning of the words that you don't know. This is called guessing from context. This means that you have to try to guess the meaning of a word by looking at the other words around it to get clues. For example, look at this sentence.
The doctor gave me some pills to relieve my pain. However, the side effects of the pills made me feel nauseous. Every day I felt like I wanted to throw up, and I often did actually vomit after taking the medicine.
Even if you don't know what the word nauseous means, you can guess it from context. The writer says that the pills made him want to throw up, and after taking the pills, he vomited. So what do you think nauseous means? Yes, that's right. It means feeling inclined to vomit or feeling as though you need to throw up. Now try this example. What do you think efficacious means in the following paragraph?
I had a terrible cough and so saw the doctor again. He gave me some cough medicine. It was most efficacious and my symptoms improved after only 2 days and then cleared up completely on the 3rd day.
The writer says that the medicine had a very fast effect and helped to cure him very quickly. So what do you think the word efficacious means?
Useless. Effective. Expensive.
Yes, that's right. Efficacious means effective. Congratulations. Now you know how to guess from context.
Scan reading.
Scan reading is used to locate information in the text. Just like an electronic scanner, when we use scan reading, our eyes move over the text very fast to find a keyword or number. By finding the keyword or number, we locate the area in the text where we can find the answer to the question. Before scan reading, we should identify the keywords or numbers in the question. These include names of people, names of places, numbers or dates, or capitalized words, for example, theory of relativity. We can also predict the type of answer to a question and then scan read to find it. For example, look at this question.
How many people voted for George Bush?
The answer will be a number, so we can scan read to find a number. Here is an example. Scan the following text to find the answers to these 2 questions. We have highlighted the key numbers and words in the questions.
Where do more than 60% of third world people live? In the 1970s, how many people had no proper means of waste disposal? Now, let's read the passage. Until very recently, the sanitary environment inhabited by more than 60% of third world people, the countryside, was left to take care of itself. The woman carrying her container to the well or washing her laundry in the stream had never seen a pipeline or a drain. At the end of the 1970s, 1.2 billion people in the third world were without a safe supply of drinking water, and 1.6 billion without any proper means of waste disposal.
Using scan reading, you should have been able to locate the relevant section of the text within a few seconds and then answer the question within 1 minute. The answers are the countryside and 1.6 billion people. So, you can see how effective scan reading can be in helping you find the answer to a question. We will now look at some of the most popular question types in the IELTS reading test and some strategies to deal with them.
Matching headings to paragraphs.
In the IELTS reading test, you may be asked to match headings to sections of text. This type of question tests your ability to understand the main idea of each paragraph. Headings are short sentences that summarize the information in a paragraph. You have to pick the heading that best summarizes the information in a paragraph. A good strategy for this question is to write your own one-sentence summary of each paragraph at the side of each paragraph when you skim read the whole passage. Then, starting from the first paragraph, read your own paragraph summary and look through all the headings. Choose the heading that best matches your own one-sentence summary, then proceed to the next paragraph and do the same. Here is an example.
There's nothing like the refreshment of a good night's sleep. Conversely, there is much misery which comes from a restless night. The whole of the next day can be disturbed by a bad night, as the poor sleepless one drags him or herself through the day.
The student has written his own summary as follows.
Sleep is crucial to our health and happiness.
Now have a look at the list of headings.
Sleeplessness and discomfort. How sleep habits have changed. Long-term anxiety. Staying cool in summer. Sleep and security. Comparisons between good and bad sleep. The importance of sleep.
Which heading would you choose? Well, which heading best matches the student's own summary? Sleep is crucial to our health and happiness. Yes, that's right. The correct heading for the paragraph above is
The importance of sleep. Short answer questions.
These are questions that test your understanding of the text, and so they are often known as comprehension questions. Firstly, check the word limit for your answer. The instructions will usually limit you to using no more than 3 words for your answer. Next, read the question carefully and highlight any keywords and numbers in the question. Now you can scan read the text until you find the keyword or number, and then skim read the surrounding text. You should find your answer. Let's look at an example question.
What strategy for overcoming iodine deficiency did UNICEF plan to have in place by the end of 1995?
We can highlight our keywords and numbers as iodine deficiency, UNICEF, and 1995. Now scan the passage for these keywords.
Some of the most rapid and important progress in UNICEF programs is in the area of salt iodization. The strategy of universal salt iodization, USI, has been widely accepted in all regions, and the goal of USI by end 1995 has been met in virtually all of Latin America and in many countries in other regions.
We can see that the answer is
Universal salt iodization. Multiple choice questions.
You should first skim the questions and the multiple choice answers. Highlight the keywords and the numbers in the question, and then skim read the text to find the right section of the text which contains the answer. Read the text very carefully to find the correct answer. Eliminate some of the choices which you feel cannot be correct. Make your final choice. Always answer all multiple choice questions, even if you have to guess. There's a good chance your guess might be correct. Let's have a look at an example. Look at this question.
Which one of the following increased in New Zealand after 1984? Farm incomes, use of fertilizer, overstocking, farm diversification.
After searching for the keywords New Zealand and 1984 in the text, we find the paragraph which contains the answer. Read it carefully.
In the late 1980s and early 1990s, some efforts were made to reduce farm subsidies. The most dramatic example was that of New Zealand, which scrapped most farm support in 1984. A study of the environmental effects conducted in 1993 found that the end of fertilizer subsidies had been followed by a fall in fertilizer use, a fall compounded by the decline in world commodity prices, which cut farm incomes. The removal of subsidies also stopped land clearing and overstocking. Farms began to diversify. There are 4 possible answers to choose from. Answer A. Fall in fertilizer use. Answer B. Decline in world commodity prices. Answer C. Also stopped land clearing. Answer D. Farms began to diversify.
We are looking for something that increased, so we can eliminate.
Answer A. Fall in fertilizer use. Answer B. Decline in world commodity prices. Answer C. Also stopped land clearing.
We can see that farms began to diversify, and this indicates that a trend started and therefore increased. So the answer is D.
The correct answer is answer D. Farms began to diversify. Gapfill questions.
In these kinds of questions, you will be given a summary of information from the text, and there will be some gaps in that summary. You will either be given a list of words to fill the gaps with, or asked to find the answers in the reading text. Your job is to insert some of the words from the list into the gaps, or if asked, to fill the gaps with words from the text. Let's have a look at an example.
Sport is a large industry in Australia, encompassing not only participants but also employment within the sporting infrastructure. The sporting activities of Australians include a range of organised and social sport, recreational and leisure activities. In March 1993, an ABS survey was conducted throughout Australia to obtain information about involvement in sport, which was defined to include both paid and unpaid participation in playing and non-playing capabilities.
Here are the words we are given to choose from.
Business, social, women, more, players, unpaid, less, non-players, most.
Here is the summary.
In Australia, sport is not only a recreational and activity, but also an industry. One survey looked at participation in sport based on whether participants were or and whether they were paid or not.
We can see that for question 1, the answer must be an adjective. The correct answer then has to be social. For questions 2 and 3, the answers must be nouns and must be a type of participant. The answer could possibly be women, but women have not been mentioned, so the answers must be players and non-players.
So the final summary, with the answers added, looks like this. In Australia, sport is not only a recreational and social activity, but also an industry. One survey looked at participation in sport based on whether participants were players or non-players, and whether they were paid or not. True, false, not given.
This is probably the most difficult question on the reading paper, so we have left it until last. True, false, and not given questions require you to identify if information in a text is true or not given at all. You will be given a number of factual statements, and you have to check whether they are true or not, or if the information is not given at all. Firstly, it is vital to understand what true, false, not given actually means. Here is a clear explanation.
If the text agrees with or confirms the information in the statement, the answer is true. If the text contradicts or is the opposite to the information in the statement, the answer is false. If there is no information or it is impossible to know, the answer is not given.
Now let's do an example. Look at this sentence from an IELTS reading text.
Chilies originate in South America and have been eaten for at least 9,500 years.
Here are some example IELTS true, false, not given statements.
Chilies come from South America. People began eating chilies in the last few centuries. South Americans were the first people to start eating chilies.
Which of these statements do you think is true? The answer is number 1. Chilies come from South America. This statement agrees with the reading text, chilies originate in South America. Notice the use of the synonym comes from used instead of originates. Synonym means a word or a phrase that means exactly or nearly the same as another word or phrase. It is very common to find synonyms in this question type. Number 2 is clearly false, as it was 9,500 years ago, not a few hundred years ago. And number 3 is not in the text. Here is a final, very important tip. If you can't find the information you are looking for, then it is probably not given. Likewise, if you have no idea what the answer is, put not given. You probably have no idea because the answer is not there. We have now reached the end of this video. We do hope you have enjoyed watching and have found the information useful. Remember, prepare well, study hard, and then relax in the test, and you too can be an IELTS superstar.